That's rock and roll.
I think I got it now.
Have you all?
All right, we're getting a few likes.
Here I am. All right, nice.
I was up like a mad scientist moving through my.
Yeah. We'll get this technology thing down sooner or later.
Yeah, how was the?
All right. Phones away.
Nobody called.
Danny's
Nobody
watching.
called Rossi or me or Sandy. We're in the middle of podcasting here.
We're doing our
Hello, people, and welcome to the 32 episode of the Rockshow, and this is a special Halloween. It's October week, October month.
It's the whole Halloween month.
All
We're going to be doing
Halloween month.
special shows. This week, today, we got a special on Screamin' J. Hawkins and Screamin' Lord Sutch. And you know Rob, you know me. This is Sandy, my wife.
She is actually the producer behind the scenes. She's the one that gets us a lot of followers.
Yes.
She works hard.
She shares with everybody
She shares
all
with
over
everybody.
the world.
She's also our first ever Haitian correspondent.
That's right. That's
From
right.
Haiti.
People in Haiti watch this show.
Yeah.
Believe that?
How does White Clef like it?
You know what? He's good at it. He approves of it. Definitely. Yes.
All right.
He did. Yes.
So, like always, let's start with a little bit of a drink. Cheers, Sandy.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. You want to jump
So,
right in?
so I first of all, I got to do a few shout outs.
Yes.
Shout out to the Banana Show. Shout out to MBD Live. Shout out to the Mermaids. They
Yes.
got a new episode up.
Freak John and Gina.
And
Also, we've been forgetting. Shout out to Boogie.
yeah,
Yes.
We've been
Boogie.
forgetting Boogie a few times. Sorry, Boogie.
Also, shout out to that fucking Colombian motherfucker Mario
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have
At the Odessa.
Yes.
from the Odessa
At the
Diner. If you're in
Odessa
Odessa, you see a little short guy with glasses that look very stressed. That is Mario.
Yeah, he only looks stressed because he needs a Jack Daniels. Just give him that, he'll be all right.
So I gotta tell you, Mike, you got a month. You booked a month of fucking holy shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a good month. We're going to get into a lot of shit with these different artists. Today we're going to be talking about Screamin' J. Hawkins and Screamin' Lord Sutch.
I think we should hit Lord Sutch first
Well, no, we're going to talk to Hawkins first.
because he got Lord Sutch got his fucking inspiration
From Hawkins.
from Hawkins.
So I figured cover him
because
first.
I know because
Yeah.
Sutch is such like a
He's,
was a
he's,
slapdick
he's,
motherfucker.
he's less known in the States.
But he plays with a lot of great guys.
but he was well known, influenced a lot of people in
Yep.
the British scene.
Yes.
But we'll talk about Screamin' J. Hawkins first, because he's a little bit older.
Yeah, so let's
All right. Now, Screamin' J. Hawkins was born July 18, 1929 in Cleveland.
where Billy the Artist is born. It's
Billy the
Cleveland,
Artist.
Ohio.
Artwork behind us.
The artwork
Billy
is
the
on
Artist.
Billy's the Artist.
Straight from Cleveland, right. After 18 months, he was put up for adoption. His mother got rid of him. And he was actually adopted by a tribe of Blackfoot Indians. Now, he was raised by them.
There's something funny about that. I think the mother made a deal,
Yeah.
so she never have to come, or they made some deal with
Yeah.
the mother to adopt him, so
Yes.
that she'll never knew who she was. Or
And it also had to do with them never telling him who his father was.
yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
who was? Do we ever know who his dad was?
I don't think he ever did. I think he had an idea,
It's
but he
one of
wasn't
the
sure.
spirits.
'Cause that was kind of fucking.
We'll talk about that.
That was fucking weird about that whole thing. That they
Yeah.
didn't.
They wouldn't say who he was. Supposedly, his mother got around quite a bit, and
Oh, my God.
that's the story.
It might have been the reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix back then, and then he died, came back, and became Morgan Freeman.
Probably. Yeah, that's definitely possible. They all look alike. Now, as a kid, he was very interested in music. He was interested in classical piano music. He was interested in opera. His hero when he was young was Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson was a baritone opera singer. He was also a political activist. And he basically wanted to grow up just like him. Unfortunately, he would go more in a blues direction. Well, fortunately for us, but he would go in a blues direction instead. Now, when he was 13 years old, World War II started.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually forged his birth certificate and joined the army at age 13 to go fight.
Yeah, they like forged it and they gave some
forged it,
fake
and he
paper.
got in, and he went to go fight in the Philippines. Now, this is a part of his life that's always been a mystery up until the documentary came out about 10 years ago.
Dude, that documentary, motherfucker,
Yeah,
holy shit.
we'll talk all about the
That documentary, woo, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was great.
Now, he was in the Philippines, and the way the story goes is he was, when the Japanese overran the Philippines, and MacArthur had to leave, and he planned to come back, the whole "I shall return" kind of thing. Okay, he was in a camp, and
he killed the
Japanese tortured him, beat him up, tortured him, tried to get information out of him, and he didn't give shit, and they moved on to other people to beat, but he was still kept captured. Yeah, he was in the camp, and eventually when the United States liberated the Philippines and came back and beat the Japanese, he had asked the guys that had taken over. He asked the guys, "Listen, this is the commandant of the camp. Let me have a few minutes with him." And they let him. They let him. And basically, what happened is he got his revenge.
Yes,
and he chopped the guy into like 5 million pieces and got away with it.
What he said in the documentary, he put a grenade in the guy's mouth.
Not only did he tied him, he stabbed him, he tied him up in a chair, and then he put a grenade in his mouth and taped it around his mouth. And before he left, he pulled the plug, pulled the pin on it, all right, and ran out of there. And he said he turned around and the guy was in 5 million pieces.
Dude,
now,
how fucking crazy is that?
Nuts.
Like,
that is totally nuts.
Like, I don't know.
This was before he was even a singer. This was like when he was
a
just teenager.
You really think he did that? Because the stories he tells,
I don't know.
He's so good.
It doesn't even matter. It might as well be true. You want it to be true.
Yeah.
I like when he told that they got him in a concentration camp, and they say, "How come they don't torture me?" Let me tell you, I'm black. Yeah. It's time for the white boy to take his ass in. I was like,
I got beat up the white boy.
But they say he had all these scars, Scars.
He did have scars on his face. You could kind of see it, like thin scars here, here, and
we talk about the other scars he got later on in life.
Yes, he did.
Mike, I don't want Sandy to do that to you ever. She's
Haitian.
She's Haitian. She's good with a knife.
They like the machete.
Good with the knife. Very good with a knife.
Yeah. And I was taking notes.
Oh, shit. I was sleeping with one eye open.
She was taking notes about
Anyway, after he was liberated, that was in like 1944 or so, he enlisted in the Air Force, and he was honorably discharged in 1952.
I would like to talk about. He was also the guy knew how to defend himself because he was a formidable boxer.
During those 8 years, he got interested in boxing, and also his music. That started to take off a little bit towards the end.
He started playing music.
He was actually the middleweight champion of Alaska, believe it or not. Okay, I guess he was serving in Alaska because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because he started the U.S. Army.
Why would he be in Alaska? He started in the Army and then came back.
You know why he probably came back? Because he probably after he get tortured and stuff like that, put you somewhere home.
Well, no, but notice he probably could have got out, but instead he joined another branch.
Yeah, he used the U.S. He started boxing in the U.S. Army. He finished boxing the U.S. In the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah.
So the guy got some smarts.
Definitely, he wasn't going to sit on his ass and do nothing.
Nah.
No, he was good. 1951, he actually started his professional musical career in jazz. He had joined Tiny Grimes' band as a guitarist and a vocalist, and he played with various artists until 1956. But in 1956, he got his big break. That's when he recorded the famous song we all know, "I Put a Spell on You." Okay, now, if you don't know this song, look it up. You should know this song, right?
It's a great song.
I mean, everybody knows it. People have covered it. Everybody from Creed's Clearwater Revival to Marilyn Manson.
I think this song and Yesterday are the two most covered songs that you ever had.
Really?
Yesterday from the Beatles and I Put a Spell on You is one of the most covered songs.
I would take this song over Yesterday.
You know, in the Rolling Stone 500, this is one of the songs that changed music. They got the Rolling Stone Hall of Fame 500 songs that changed music, and this song changed music.
If you listen to the song, it's an R&B, 50s style R&B song done at a waltz beat. Okay, which is bizarre, right? Especially at the time. Okay.
I love you. I love you for that. That's a great.
It's true. It's something Marcus. It's some, what's his name? Who was the guy that had the show on TV? The fucking waltz guy. When we were kids.
I forgot. Oh my God. Yeah, there was a guy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Tiny Bubbles. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But it was a waltz beat with an R&B sound.
Yeah.
And when he recorded it, he saw it as a ballad type thing.
Yeah.
But him and the band were so lumped up, wasted. Okay. Lumped up on probably moonshine and fucking Ripple and whatever the hell they were drinking.
These motherfuckers drank.
They drank. And they don't even remember recording it. That's how wasted they were. And it ended up just being this raw track that got released the way it was, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's moaning, grunting, screaming in the song.
It's fucking great.
And like, there was nothing like that in 1956.
It was fucking great.
Okay, now the track was actually banned all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so the record label that he was on, I think it was called OK Records or something like that. They put it out on another version, but it was they took out some of the grunting and groaning. Okay, but it still got banned because there was like that overt sexuality to it that just wasn't going to be allowed.
Hey, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Guys, you don't realize this is the first rock show being videotaped. Do you realize that?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Which one?
The one with Adriana.
Oh yeah, the Adriana and the one with but was Adriana the rock show?
That was the Patty Smith one.
Oh yeah, the Patty.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I think we did one other one.
This one, then the one with Bobby Steele.
Yes.
Lumped up on.
Yes, but there might have been one more. We don't.
But that was a CBS special.
Yes. Right. No, actually, that was an ABC afternoon special.
Oh, those are great.
The ABC afternoon special. My kid's on drugs.
My kid is fucking crack.
My kid became a punk rocker. That's a real one. That's a classic one. Yeah, you can check that out.
My kid got so much drugs.
Now, him being from Cleveland, Screamin' Jay, Alan Freed, the famous DJ who actually invented the word rock and roll, okay, picked up on what he was doing, and he was having a big festival of rock bands with Chuck Berry.
Oh yeah, he played with some motherfuckers.
Now, Alan Freed offered Screamin' Jay Hawkins $300 to come out on stage in a coffin and come out doing that song. Now, he's quoted as saying, "No black dude gets in a coffin alive. They don't expect to come out." All right, that's what he told him. But he took him up on his offer, thank God, because it was a huge hit, and that kind of like sprung the whole theatrical thing. It began his whole career.
Yeah.
And he would kind of expand on this right away because he saw how popular it was. I mean, he comes out on stage in a fucking coffin.
Right. He was like, you know what, when he performed, even when you looked at the documentary, when he performed, he wasn't Jay Hawkins no more. He was just this mad, screaming, fucking voodoo, fucking, he was like Babalu, or he was like, Baba Ligma. He was a fucking, something to forward.
I've showed you clips of him.
Yes.
Like
when he plays live, he seems.
But you look at him, his eyes, and he's like, for him to come out of the fucking coffin, what a fucking.
The way he was speaking.
Do you remember a film in the late 70s? I think it's 1978 called American Hot Wax.
Yes, he was in it.
He played himself.
Yeah.
And it was all about Alan Freed.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry was in it too.
Yeah.
And they actually show him coming out. First, you see him coming out of a limo, but he's got like the stick with the skull on it.
Buddha,
right?
the Buddha fucking
and
stick.
he's like, he comes out. He's like, Right. And then later on, you see him come out on stage in the coffin. He's like, and it was great. But what he did was he would come out in like leopard skin clothes, and actually the red leather or black leather, and he had firecrackers. He would throw like smoke bombs, okay, freak people out, right? And then he had the skull on the stick, and the skull's name was Henry.
Yeah.
And he would talk to Henry sometimes. Be like, "Hey, Henry, you want a cheeseburger?" Things like that, crazy shit like that. Now, he would ride on the success of I Put a Spell on You for his whole career, basically. But he released a lot of albums.
He had a lot of albums and a lot of singles too.
A lot of singles.
B-sides.
So many songs. Alligator Wine.
Oh yeah.
That was a song very similar to I Put a Spell on You. He was talking about voodoo and spells and things like
Baptism
that.
by Wine.
Yep. The song Hong Kong. Okay, where he imitates Chinese people. He's like chicka ting jump. It's like, oh man.
You know that he didn't like Japanese people for a long time.
He
wound up marrying like a Japanese
woman later on. He had a lot of problems with Asian people.
You heard his story? Like he had 70-something kids, and they did a website where they actually found 33.
They found 33 of them.
kids.
He says he had 70 children.
Yeah, he had 70 children.
He lived to be 70.
Yeah.
So that's one a year.
But, how come he was cracking so many jokes on Stevie Wonder? He said, that nigga didn't see this.
The best joke was like when he says, this is in the documentary, it's called Screamin' Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on Me.
Yeah.
It came out in 2010. Everybody should see this. It's on YouTube for free. Check it out.
It's a great documentary.
The hour and a half is worth it. But right away, the first thing he tells is a joke.
Yeah.
And he says, why do women wear red lipstick? Right? Danger, wrong hole.
And the woman looked. The woman was talking in Spanish.
Yeah. She was like, "Oh God."
He said, "I figure out this woman knows English."
Yeah, right. He was saying, "I bet you know English because I'm going to tell a joke." And then she started laughing. I knew you knew English. That's good.
He was saying, but there was this one point where he went to get a royalty at a place.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a bunch of mobster. And they told him, "Will you like some cement shoes?" The fucking guy of the place, he came out of really scared out of the place.
He never made a dime, even though in the record industry, he never made a dime off I Put a Spell on You, because in those days the record industry was all mafia run, and they just weren't going to pay him. And he went in to ask for it, and they just basically said, "Listen, you ain't getting shit, or you might get some cement shoes if you don't."
If you don't leave. Yeah. How about my favorite story he tells is about him, some girl, he had a girlfriend saying, "I want to see this guy, I want to see this guy play." And
Elvis.
It turned out to be Elvis Presley.
And he said he wasn't impressed, and he got backstage and he's like, "I've been hearing about you, and Elvis is like, "Oh yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think much of you, man."
And then and you know what the best Bo did? He's talking about this white boy doing all the black moves, all the moves that black people do. He's taking on dance. I think his name is Elvis. Oh, I met that guy.
Yeah, I met that guy. He ain't nothing,
He ain't nothing. That was great.
No, I know.
Dude, this guy
it is true. It is true. Elvis was, he ripped off a lot of black artists. But you know what? I still like the guy. If it wasn't for him, there wouldn't have been people after, including black artists.
Yeah.
So, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But anyway, in '78 he made that movie American Hot Wax. Now I got to tell you, this is a movie I remember very well because I saw it in a drive-in.
Yeah?
Yeah, out on Long Island. Yeah, I saw it in, I think it was in Valley Stream.
Did you go to the drive-in, like where you one person pay, everybody gets in the trunk?
Hide in the back.
Yes.
I think my father stuck me in the trunk to get in or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Come here, you little fucker, get in the trunk.
Yeah, I thought they were only paying for me. Sneak beers in, all that stuff.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. We need that. Drive-in should come back.
Drive-in was great.
Why not?
That driving was great.
In
1983, director Jim Jarmusch, who's very well known around here, he's got his studio down, I think on Spring Street.
He actually helped him out a lot.
Yeah.
He did a lot of things. He got him royalties.
Well, what's that?
Is that the guy that got him royalties, actually, after a while?
Jim Jarmusch, for all who don't know, he's a great film director. He directed Stranger in Paradise, Mystery Train, both of them feature Screamin' Jay. And when he made Stranger in Paradise, Screamin' Jay's not in it, but the song I Put a Spell on You is in it. And it's actually not just part of the soundtrack, it's a pivotal part of the plot.
Yeah.
Okay, because the girl in the film is obsessed with the song, and it's part of like her whole character.
Yeah.
So when he was making the film, he realized, like, you know, Screamin' Jay doesn't have the rights to this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He tried to find him, and he found him living in a trailer home in Jersey.
Yeah.
All right, poor guy. So he said, listen, you know, I'm going to use your song in the film. You're going to get paid. And I believe Jarmusch actually bought the rights to the song.
Yeah.
And then he paid him appropriately of what he should have gotten.
He probably paid him more.
Probably, and he said he went above that.
Yeah,
he said he went above that. But he became friends with him. And later in 1989, he would actually work with Jarmusch in the movie Mystery Train. He plays like a hotel clerk, and he's got a few lines and everything.
Is that the one where he ate all the plums? He talking about?
But he's eating all the plums.
He kept fucking with the kids.
Yeah.
The kid I was with it. I got my own meter with him.
Yeah.
He said he don't want you there. The kid would call him.
Mess with people.
Oh my god.
I mean, he was an old school guy, ball buster. You gotta love people like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're few and far between. I am a ball buster.
Yeah.
I am. Everybody says I am.
Yeah,
But the way you see the guy talk, like I think even though, and like when you look at the documentary, he played that last concert. He said, I'll be back here, and I will play again. And like,
It's kind of prophetic.
do you see the one where he said, so I got one of my guys, my prop guys, to get me a bunch of bones, get me some ketchup, and I'm gonna do something.
Right. But then it was blood on the ball. Yeah, I mean, he would have these like crazy sets. One thing I got to mention though is that in '83, he actually, after The Stranger in Paradise, he was living in the New York area, and he started playing around a little bit. And this is when I became more aware of him.
I talk about him playing in St. Mark's and some
That's what I want to tell you. Back in '78, American Hot Wax was probably the first time I ever heard of the guy. Okay, but in '83, '84, I remember seeing little things in the Village Voice about the guy. Oh, he was a Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Always, I Put a Spell on You, but he was playing around. And there was a great garage band that used to play around the city all the time called the Fuzz Tones, and they got quite a few albums out. And Rudy Petrucci, the actual singer of the Fuzz Tones, walked into a little bar on St. Mark's. I'm thinking it might have been Holidays. Who the hell knows?
It's either Holiday. It could have been the original International Bar and Grill.
Did they have a piano?
I don't know if they had piano.
Because
I mean,
he was playing piano.
Oh, it could have been the old St. Mark's Bar. Also,
St. Mark's Bar and Grill. They had a piano.
They had a
did
piano.
Have, yeah,
and it was right on the corner of St. Mark's.
That's right. It could have been there. They did have a piano in that place.
And then they changed around, but it could have been there also because he was playing in a rib joint.
Right.
They were making ribs.
They had ribs in St. Mark's Bar.
Yeah.
Yes, I bet it was that. Anyway, Rudy Petrucci walks in because he had seen these little handbills on streetlights that he was playing.
That's a great
Screamin'
story.
Jay Hawkins. I got to check it out. Right?
Yeah.
And he said that he was playing, just doing covers. He wasn't doing his own songs. And he said, like, people were into it, but like the owner was treating him like shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And he went up to him after the show and tried to get to know him and talk to him and explain he was a fan. And he said, listen, I'm in a band called the Fuzz Tones, and would you want to play with us? And the first thing Hawkins says to him is like, I don't like white people. and Rudy impressed him because he said the right thing back. Well, I don't like any people.
I don't like any people. But didn't he sign him like to a weird kind of record? Like, didn't he have like some kind of record label? Is that the guy with the long hair?
Long black hair.
Some kind of, it's not going to be much, but I got something. I got people that can reach out.
He had a label. The Fuzz Tones were on a small label.
Yeah.
And the idea was that they would collaborate on a live record. Now it's called it's just called Screamin' Jay Hawkins and the Fuzz Tones.
Yeah.
And it was recorded, I believe, at the end of December 1984. I have this record at home.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. It's just him on the cover with like Henry, and he's wearing the outfit with the bones in his nose and everything.
Fucking great.
And you could see this on YouTube. Most of the show was filmed, and it's fantastic. I mean, there's Fuzz Tone songs, and then there's Screamin' Jay stuff. He that kind of brought a little bit of a new generation to him.
Yeah.
And he started playing again a lot. He would play overseas. He got involved with a label he got on. Actually, let him put out an album in 1991 called Black Music for White People. And he covered the Tom Waits song Heart Attack and Vine, which is one of the best Tom Waits songs.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Tom Waits fan, but that's one that I do like.
You know what's funny? When they were interviewing some of the guys, they were interviewing one of the guys by the old Lakeside Lounge. If you remember, it was between 10th. It was on 10th Street.
Was that no Jarmusch was interviewed in the Chelsea Hotel.
Oh yeah, Chelsea Hotel. But there was the other guy, the older
Lounge?
guy, the guy with a gray hair, the other guy. I don't even know his name. But they were interviewing outside. He was like blonde and shit. They were interviewing him outside the street.
Yeah.
And he's talking about,
that was the guy from the Flesh Tones.
So that
was the guy from the Flesh Tones.
So this guy was in front of the old Lakeside Lounge.
Yes.
They used to have live music there. They would have like a little. You were playing a little corner, but they would have bands all the time. Yeah,
I remember. In 1993, he would relocate to France. I guess he got the money for that because when he did that cover of Heart Attack and Vine, it actually got to number 42 in the UK as a single. And that was his only charting record really ever, pretty much, in the UK. And really anyway. I Put a Spell on You never charted because it got banned everywhere. But everybody knew the song because everybody bought it anyway.
It was a great fucking song. You know?
Now, in 1999, Screamin' Jay Hawkins, he agreed to do this documentary called I Put a Spell on Me. And it would be released in 2001. Now, unfortunately, February 12th, 2000, he would die in Paris shortly after performing. He had an aneurysm that just stopped his heart. That was the end of it. But he had a great life. He was married 6 times. He claimed to have 70 children. Like you said, 33 have been established.
Yeah, been established. They put a website.
They were trying to. After he died, there was a website.
Let's talk about the
Japanese wife.
Let's talk about the dirty story.
Yes.
The drifter, some fucking Stevie Ray Hawkins.
Great story.
It's fucking hanging out in the back.
Right.
In the dressing room.
He's hanging out with the drifters. Okay.
They're drinking my fucking beer.
They're getting fucking wasted. They're getting lumped up. And he goes into his coffin, right?
No, he told him, can you guys put matches in the coffin so the thing doesn't get locked?
Right.
Because he said, these motherfuckers I spent $300 on this booze, they're drinking my thing, and this and that. Yeah. And the story goes, he tells the drifter, can you guys put matches with a hole in the coffin so when I go down, it doesn't get locked?
It doesn't get locked, so it was just closed but not locked. Yeah. They didn't do it.
He goes, turn my matches on.
And he's about.
Except when I wanted a fucking match.
So he's about to come out on stage, right? And he can't get out. Okay. And he freaks.
He freaks out. He's only got 3 minutes of
And he was so lumped up before he went on, and when that happened, he actually shit his pants.
No, but he thought it was a real coffin.
He thought it was
a prop coffin.
But he was wasted.
He was wasted. So he goes, so I'm in this coffin. I pushed the fucking door. I pushed it. It's not coming off. I'm in panic mode. I'm in here, and I start panicking. I pee a little bit.
But then he said it unleashed.
And then I keep pushing, and now I shit my pants. But I got the idea.
And that reminds me though.
I got the idea. Let me jump a little bit. Finally, he fucking takes the coffin falls down, it breaks open, and he stand up in the front. He say, I look like Cinderella in the back, I look like a massacre of fucking Bloody Mario with a wave. It was fantastic. It was fucking fantastic. Now, this documentary was fantastic. Fucking great.
But it just reminds me of like one of my favorite songs from him. Okay? A song about real pain. Okay? You know what that is? Constipation Blues.
Your Constipation
Blues. Okay. Go check this song out, people. All right. The beginning of the song, he's like, everybody. He goes, I sing the blues. It's all about pain, but nobody writes a song about real pain, right? And it's like the song kicks in. The song kicks in. He's like, the beginning of the song is like, It's like, let it go, let it go, let it go.
I got a theory. You know the way Rick James got beat up with Charlie Murphy? I think Screamin' Jay Hawkins beat the drifter up just like Charlie.
He gave him a beat. I don't know, was it Benny King? I don't know which one it was.
He went after them like a motherfucker. He said even from that day, he was chasing the drifter to kick the motherfucking ass. How fucking great is that?
That's awesome.
He was like, I
rock,
took
man.
one of them and I just, bam! I caught one of them.
Yep.
The other motherfucker ran out of the room.
He caught him too. Yep.
You can't make this shit up.
That's classic.
Dude, this guy was fucking
nuts.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, great artist.
And you can see he was possessed.
Yeah.
When he was on stage, he was possessed.
Sandy believes he was possessed
Yes,
by
he
some
was.
spirit.
What do you
right?
got for Sandy?
Absolutely, because the way when he was talking to the spirit. Definitely, because sometimes
You've seen this before.
Yeah, absolutely. The words that he was saying, like, okay, he was talking tongue.
Yeah.
Definitely,
in tongue,
yeah. He was speaking in tongue.
Right.
Like his eyes were rolling back just like The Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's with that, man. You know, being raised by Blackfoot Indians, who knows what other stuff he knew?
Exactly.
He probably knew a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Probably knew a lot of stuff.
He
He
knew
never
a lot.
talked about it, but he probably
Maybe
did.
Papa Lakebright's his father.
Who the hell? That's why they don't
Look
talk
at that.
about it.
Yeah. They kind of
my
resemblance.
God.
Remember
Holy
when we
shit.
were watching American Horror Story a couple of seasons ago when they showed Papa
Exactly.
Legba and we just looked at each other like,
Yes.
holy
Oh,
shit.
Yes.
they do. I can't believe they even used that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they went there.
And they,
Yeah,
they,
that
done- they
far.
used him 2 seasons.
Yes,
so
they did.
far.
He came back.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna change gears for a second here. While old Screamin' Jay was doing his shit over here in America, there was a guy in England that knew all about him, knew what he was doing,
He was
and
like-
decided that he would
yeah.
kind of do the same, but take it to a little bit different level.
Oh, this guy was
Okay.
extreme. This
Now,
guy was fucked up
We're
too.
gonna talk about Screamin' Lord Sutch. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Now.
Wow, I can't believe you're taking that, man.
Yes.
Now you're going deep.
Listen, I'm going deep. This is real rock and roll. No bullshit. This is. You got to know Screamin' Lord Sutch to know your shit.
Dude, let me
Okay?
tell you, I think that motherfucker was a descendant of Jack the Ripper.
Could have been. He looked like
Because
him.
he
Yeah.
fucking...
Looked like him.
Dude, he was
Yeah.
scary looking, dude.
Now, his name was David Edward Sutch, and he was born November 10th, 1940. He was actually also known as the 3rd Earl of Harrow. But,
The 3rd Earl.
but he wasn't
Yeah.
royalty, okay? He bought his
No,
fucking
he bought-
title.
yeah, he bought
okay?
his title.
And he was directly inspired by Screamin' Jay because he called himself Screamin' Lord Sutch.
Yeah.
All right, now that he said, yeah, I took it from that.
Oh, yeah, he got no problem in it because he loved the guy.
Exactly.
The guy was an inspiration.
That's
Inspiration to
hero.
him. So he decided to use the same thing. And in the early 60s, he got notoriety for a song called Jack the Ripper.
Oh, that fucking
Great
song is
singer.
actually fucking good.
Yeah.
Many
Yes.
people have
Really
covered
good
this song.
Yeah.
Everybody from the White Stripes onward have covered this song.
But you know what? Nobody covered him like this motherfucker.
No, I'm talking about Jack the Ripper, this actual
No,
song.
I mean his song.
Yeah.
The way he
Oh, the
did
original.
It.
No,
The original.
can't be.
Nobody.
No,
I
no,
don't.
you
I
can't
don't
be
care
covered.
who done it. The original is the best song.
Right, now his band, The Savages, so it was
They were great.
Screamin' Lord Sutch and The Savages, featured a very young Richie Blackmore, who
Yeah.
would go on to start Deep Purple, be very famous. But he started out playing with Screamin' Lord Sutch in the early 60s. He would, use a black coffin on stage. He would have skulls and swords.
Oh, yeah.
He would wear hats with big bull horns on them. This was all kind of stuff that was predating Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper was totally influenced by Screamin' Lord Sutch and Screamin' Jay.
Yeah,
but I think
more Lord
even more
Sutch.
Lord Sutch because he went in musically it was closer.
Yeah.
And just the whole idea of using props.
And he used makeup. He did that
Yeah.
white face makeup.
When he would do Jack the
lipstick.
Ripper on stage, he would come out in a top hat, real tall black top hat, cape. He'd have a surgical bag, okay, like Jack the Ripper had. He would have white makeup on. His teeth looked all rotten.
Yeah.
Okay. And he'd have like scary shit on his face, whatever. And he would come out and he would antagonize the audience.
Oh, he
would go like the girl.
Scary.
In those days, just like the Beatles or the Stones, a lot of rock and roll shows was all girls screaming at the
Yeah.
guy. But he would be in the small clubs, and this would be happening. And he would be right on top of these people and just like, and they would freak out.
I think he was like the original Gallagher.
Yeah, well,
Like he was like,
Gallagher.
Yeah.
because he's the one.
Yeah.
Because
Well, he came out with he didn't come out with a sledgehammer.
no, but he came out
Yeah.
with swords and
Swords
shit
and
and
shit,
knives.
yeah.
How about the love letter he got? Remember the document? That
Yeah.
love letter, that girl said, "I feel part of you.
I would do anything for you.
I said, "This
Yeah.
bitch is sick. She's
Yeah.
out of her mind."
Yeah. Now, one thing he did, he wasn't all about music, okay? He actually, in 1964, he took over an old army fort in the south of England that was actually in the water. It was like back from World War II, probably to watch ships or planes coming in that was attacking England. But it was off the coast, and you could only get there by boat. And he set up a pirate radio station.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, and it was there for like about 3 years.
Yep.
And he played anything he wanted to. He would play anything from, rock and roll, or people just like there was one that he did all the time, like somebody just reading Lady Chatterley's Lover.
I thought that was great.
Oh yeah, over the air.
I remember
which
Lady Chatterley,
which was
Cinemax,
kind of dirty.
Skinemax.
Yes, Skinemax.
episode.
Yep, WHT. Yep. So he did that pirate radio while he was doing his career.
You know that he sold that thing to somebody who actually gave him money, and then once
there was a controversy with that.
The people that bought it,
and somebody got shot over it.
Oh,
I think there was something where he got out of it, but then the people that bought it, there was an argument, and somebody got shot at the place. And everything. Yeah,
some crazy shit happened.
Now, that year in '67, Richie Blackmore would leave the band and get ready to start Deep Purple. So he had some different lineups. 1969, he records an album called Screamin' Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends. And it was featuring Jimmy Page, John Bonham, Jeff Beck,
it was like
Noel Redding, Nicky Hopkins. All of them wrote and helped perform on the album and helped write it. And
he got Keith Moon too.
Jeff Beck. Everybody was on it. Everybody was on it. I got to mention this. Yesterday when I was doing my research, I wasn't totally familiar with this album.
Wow.
And I had to actually look at it and listen to it, because in my research, they were saying that this is one of the worst albums of all time, according to a BBC poll. Now, I never listen to polls, I never listen to critics, I like what I like, and that's it. But I went, wow, if this is the worst album of all time, I got to really listen to it all the way through.
No, that's a good, great fucking album.
It's a great fucking album. And why are they saying that, I have no idea. I called up, I texted a friend of mine and that knows a lot about garage music, and he was like, no, that's one of my favorite albums for like decades. And I'm like, all right. And you know what he said to me? He said, don't listen to the BBC, it's all commie propaganda. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
You know what I love? When I'm watching the documentary, he comes out as Jack the Ripper, and he's stuck hunting this body on stage and singing. How fucking incredible. First he takes out the fucking kidneys.
He pulled the liver out.
Yeah, he
pulled the liver out. And then he goes in again, he's using this knife, and the band is making noise with the guitar like he's ripping his skin. Like, and he's stabbing the guy down like this. And he goes in and he pulls out a heart, but it's like shaped like a heart. It's not really a heart.
And he's throwing the shit.
And he's throwing it at the audience, and the girls are screaming like it's real. Like it's real.
It feels real.
Yeah, they were scared.
But dude, it was so fucking.
They were
so
actually
weird.
scared. They were actually scared of.
Oh, they were scared. Oh, the guy, like, you know what? You know what? I think that's the problem with music today. The problem in general is people don't know how to have fun no more.
Yeah.
People are too worried about the views, about this, and nobody want to have fun.
Right.
The reason we go to shows is to leave our reality because we want to be entertained.
It's an escape. It's an escape thing.
And Screaming Jay and Lord Sutch, these guys were entertainers.
Music, rock and roll got me through my life, man.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I'd probably be dead. Because if I had to deal with all the shit I had to deal with in my life without having an escape, come on. I mean, that's what music's all about. It's a musical, it's a universal language. We all love music, we can all enjoy it. But it's an escape thing too. You gotta get away from the realities of life. People right now are too intense. That's why no one even buys albums anymore. Whatever, everything is download. Whatever, I don't know. But one thing he was interested in that he did through his whole career was he was running for Parliament. It seemed all the time. He had started in 1983 the official Monster Raving Loony Party.
I thought that's a great name.
That's a great name for a political party. In England, there's like a lot of political parties because you can have a parliament seat, and that's how it works. Now he actually holds the record for losing elections in England.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was Sutch.
During his life, he ran over 40 times for Parliament and lost every time. So he never sat in Parliament. If you watch the documentary called Screamin' Lord Sutch, it's just a quick 30-minute documentary. You can see it on YouTube. There's a part where they interview these politicians, right? Remember the old guys? Stodgy British guys, mustaches, and hats and everything, tuxedos, whatever. And they're like, the guys, what do you think of Lord Sutch? And the one guy is just like, not much. He's just like, I don't think, he's nothing. They're just like insulting him. It was terrible. 40 times, that's right. 40 times he actually ran for office. Now, I'm going to tell another story too. In the early 80s, my buddy Rick Rivets went to England, and he was with his girlfriend at the time. And my buddy told me this story a couple of times. And he was walking in London near the Marquee Club, famous small club in London. And he looked up at the Marquee, and there was Screamin' Lord Sutch was playing.
Yep.
Now he knew who he was. He was a fan, but he'd never seen him before because Screamin' Lord Sutch never made it to America. He never performed it. He never got over here. And so you had to kind of be in the know with music to even know who he was.
Yeah.
But Rick knew who he was, and he went in, checked the show out. He said it was great. Did Jack the Ripper and a bunch of other songs, and got backstage and got to talk with him. And Sutch knew who he was, which was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was amazed. And he said that he asked him. He says, "Well, when are you going to come to America? Well, I've never seen you anywhere in America." And he said, "Well," he goes, "the Cramps are supposed to bring me over, and do a tour with them." And that was in the early '80s, but it never happened.
Wow.
It never happened. And he was would often play in England through his whole life. Unfortunately, he used to suffer from depression.
Yeah.
He wasn't well. And June 16th, 1999, he committed suicide.
Yeah.
He hung himself, sadly. And that's the end of that. There's a couple of good books if you want to read about Screamin' Lord Sutch out there. I think one is called Screamin' Lord Sutch, The Whole Story. I saw it on Wikipedia. You can check out those titles.
But
it's
he
good
was
stuff.
like a manic depressive.
He was a manic
depressive.
His girlfriend
That's
said
right.
that he was, yeah.
So, that's why he had himself. It's almost the same thing. Like the difference between him and Wendy or Williams, I think it wasn't that she was depressed. I think she just missed the spotlight. And
some people don't know how to cope after that. I imagine by the late '90s he wasn't playing that much.
It's like there's a lot
he was already about 60 years old by that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of rock stars. There's a lot of people. There's just a lot of people that you don't know where they're coming from. The next thing you know, it's like, what the fuck? I never thought this guy was depressed, and then they killed himself.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! And I always say that people who are killing themselves, they never say it. They just do it.
Yeah, the ones that say it don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's the ones that surprise you.
They just one day they go home and they're like, fuck this, I'm done.
Terrible thing.
And it's a terrible thing.
We were going to have another guest today, Sapphire from Psycho Moto Retardation, great band that's playing around. Unfortunately, she could not make it today.
Can you repeat that name?
Sapphire?
No, the name of the band?
Psycho Moto Retardation. Great band.
Psycho
Moto Retard.
Nice.
But first of all,
that name's gonna be outlawed.
The word retard is in the name,
yeah.
so automatically I like it. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. They're great. They remind me of the Plasmatics a little bit. So we will have her on soon. She's a great person.
She's
amazing. We have to definitely.
We
have
gotta put in a plug for the conspiracy. We got a huge guest.
Yes. Coming up on Wednesday, folks. Live from 7B, where we do Conspiracy 420. We are going to have on the great Al Diaz. Al Diaz was partnered with Jean-Michel Basquiat, the artist.
Basquiat, a great fucking artist.
They started the SAMO tag, SAMO, that we used to see all over the place in the city when we were kids. It'd be the same old shit. And, remember Basquiat and Diaz were graffiti guys.
Yep.
They were OG graffiti guys. Now Diaz has his own exhibit going on down on Orchard Street at the Vanderplaats Gallery. Check it out. We're going to do a whole show with him. He's going to talk about how New York's fucking changed and everybody's pussies now and all that. And he's a Lower East Side guy, so he's got some great stories, I'm sure.
Oh, he actually went to school on 7th Street.
He went to St. Bridges, yeah.
St. Bridges.
Wow.
So the guy,
and he knows the 7B bar well.
Oh,
he knows the 7B bar. Like this is a lot of history. And I think it'll be a good show. But we gotta get a piece of Q, get some good questions, ask him some good stuff.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna mention something. I'm gonna shock the shit out of everybody. Okay. I bought a CD the other day.
Ooh.
All right. Now, you know who it was by?
Okay.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh my God.
David Hasselhoff. Michael Knight.
What the fuck?
Knight Rider.
Yes.
David Hasselhoff. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for all who don't know, he is huge in Germany. He's been huge for 30 years. Ever
He's
since
German, right?
Yeah, but he's from America. But he's German background. But he for some reason, after Baywatch, he started a musical career, and he just is a superstar in Germany. But
They love him in Germany.
They love him in Germany. He's the Hoff. He's called the Hoff. Okay.
He's the
Now,
Hoff.
I never really paid attention much to this, other than the fact that it's so corny. It's funny, but this caught my attention because I heard that he made this album of covers that was about to come out. It's called Open Your Eyes. And Open Your Eyes is a song on there originally done by Lords of the New Church, who's one of my favorite bands. Anything Steve Baders does, I love.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, no way. So that as a teaser, before the album came out, they had a little video for Open Your Eyes by David Hasselhoff. I was like, this is fucking great. And he's got top-notch musicians playing with him. He does a cover of Heroes by David Bowie. Okay?
Oh,
He's got
God.
James
It was
Williamson
great.
from the Stooges. He's got this great voice, very deep voice. And Williamson is playing guitar great. Guys, I know you think I'm kidding around, but this album is good. Okay? He does Heroes. He does Open Your Eyes. He does the Echo and the Bunnymen song, Lips Like Sugar.
I like that song.
Yeah, I mean, he even does a cover of Rhinestone Cowboy. Yeah, it's great. Okay?
You're gonna get geeky?
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Well, we always get geeky.
have you ever heard the William Shatner album?
Anything by William Shatner.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
He just talks on the word.
Oh, yeah.
Rocket Man.
I'm a rocket man.
Oh my God.
Okay. And Lucy
It's so bad.
in the sky with diamonds.
It's so bad. It's good.
Yeah.
It is so bad. It's good.
Hasselhoff is not.
It's so good.
So, you know what I think William Shatner should do? He should do all Johnny Cash's album, the American album.
Well, he just
Talking.
made a Christmas album, and Iggy Pop sings.
Oh
on it.
yeah,
yeah.
But I want
Johnny
Cash.
Cash?
I want
sings The Man in Black?
I want him. No, I want him doing all the American songs. Like I Heard Myself by Whitney Shannon. I heard myself. Can you see Captain Kirk doing that
I could.
fucking thing?
I
It is
could.
fantastic.
When the man comes
Comes
around. Spot. That's
Come on, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let us go.
definitely. You should.
Oh,
Speaking
my God.
now, speaking of Shatner, now the reason
yes,
the reason we're doing this show early today, okay, because we always do the show on Sundays. Next Sunday we're gonna show this again for all you people. Rob's gonna be up in Boston at a gay wedding or something. What is it?
No, I'm not.
Real
No, real wedding.
A real wedding.
Black tie. Black
Just
tie
kidding.
wedding.
Okay,
I'm gonna be in there like the nature boy. Woo!
but we will be.
And in black.
Us will be in Asbury Park, New Jersey, that afternoon on
Hanging
Sunday.
out with Bam Bam Bigelow?
Nope.
Oh, no, he's dead.
There's a theater there in Asbury Park that's going to be showing Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh my God,
Okay?
that's a great
And
one.
William Shatner will be there. I'm going to be Shatner.
You better get a picture with him. You
Fucking
need
shit.
to.
Yeah.
We will.
I'm just going to be like,
You told Shatner, man, that he needs to come on the show.
Yeah.
We can have it. I think he's goofy enough that he'll do it.
He will
he'd do
come.
anything.
Introduce it to Sandy
Remember-
first.
He's a dog anyway. He'd probably love
Oh,
him.
horror!
Yeah.
Sandy.
I had the first interracial kiss on TV with a black girl. There you go. Oh my.
It was with Shatner.
Yeah, it was.
That's
no, that's
real.
true.
That is true. He
No,
did.
yeah. Him and you heard. That's the first time that ever happened.
Horror. Yeah. well,
African roundback.
Oh, yes. Without question.
The original
I
African
might hit her
roundback.
to this day. She doesn't look
No,
that bad.
I don't know. No, dude, she's got dementia. She's so fucked up.
Oh, that's great. She will remember.
Good for her.
That means we can do it twice.
Oh my god. Oh man. I hope her family doesn't see this.
Oh no.
Get sued. Slander. Buy the David Hasselhoff album, people. Buy it. Okay, let's support the Hoff. All right. Not only that, when you open the CD up,
Oh my God, yes.
there's
so
all like the
beautiful.
lyrics and shit and everything. But inside is a little patch. Okay, a patch
your
to sew on your
jacket.
jacket, and it
Yes.
says Hoff Army.
Yes,
It's
yes.
Like, and it looks like the Kiss Army patch. It's
Oh
fucking
my God.
hilarious.
So
You
beautiful.
want to hear something? If you watch the Guardian of the Galaxy, he sings a song with
Yeah.
the Guardian. It's pretty funny, the song
Hoff.
he does.
Yeah,
Huh?
Hasselhoff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I'll show you the video at the end of this, but
Okay.
people should look that up. It's a
Yeah.
great ending.
Now, also tonight, me and Sandy will be at Town Hall. She got it all decked out, looking beautiful. We're gonna go see Debbie Harry. Now,
His
Debbie
first
Harry.
lover.
Yeah, the reason
I heard she likes threesome.
I'm ready.
We are.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
open to it.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes. Debbie, anytime.
Okay,
Do you hear that?
we're
People,
ready.
do you hear
We're
that?
ready. I don't care if you're
We're
70.
ready. Yeah, that's okay.
You just,
oh my God.
it's okay.
Ooh.
So, she just came out with a new book. She wrote a book about her life called Face It. And what I'm hearing is pretty scandalous.
Oh, yeah?
She's dropping some stories here. Sex, cocaine, rape, all kinds of shit.
Oh.
Okay. Crazy shit that went on, CBGBs back in the day. It should be a good book. Now, she's up at Town Hall tonight. I think there might be some tickets left if you want to go. For $40,
Should.
you get the hardcover copy of the book,
$40.
autographed. I think you get to meet her.
Meet her.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And there's some kind of video presentation. Chris Stein will be there as well.
Are there any
guitar
lap
player.
dance?
Maybe.
You never know.
Well,
You never know.
It's
Okay.
Chris Stein giving you the lap dance.
No, I'll pass on that. I like him, but not that much. So hopefully later, folks, maybe there'll be a picture of us with.
If you
with,
guys gotta get
with
that,
Debbie
that'd be
Harry.
huge. That'd
Yeah,
be huge.
Yeah, that would be good.
So I'd like to thank everybody that's following us,
Yes.
the people that listen to us, the people that support us. We're really trying to reach a lot more people out there.
Yeah.
You gotta follow us on
On
YouTube.
Yeah, please
You
hit
gotta
like.
follow Rock'em Mike on Twitter. You gotta follow Rob Getting Lumped Up at Twitter. You can find Sandy on Facebook, Instagram, and the Chinese Instagram that hasn't come out yet, but they got her.
Yep. I've made her Chinese. Rob, you made her Chinese. a couple of times.
we should have the J-Hulk and Chinese song playing in the background as we went out.
We should have went live on Facebook on her birthday.
Oh no!
That was
No!
Talk about low.
Sandy does not drink tequila well.
Yes.
Tequila
She
Never.
does
not
not
work
drink
for her.
tequila. Once she drinks the tequila, she's going down.
Yes.
Yep.
She was in the bathroom for 38 minutes. You don't know what happened.
Anybody wants to see? I got pictures in my phone.
No! Yes. Half an hour of tequila. Two.
So-
Two.
She threw a ball over the BQE that day.
Yes.
And we'll leave on that.
Now
note.
it's the HOV line.
Yeah, okay.
45, come on
Kosciuszko
now.
Bridge,
It's
you had to knock it
45.
down.
Yeah, it's 45. It's because I turned 45.
That's
I
right.
had to
You
go
gotta get lumped
all
up.
out.
You
Yeah,
had to
you
get
have to
lumped
get
up.
lumped up at 45.
Yes.
You got to
Exactly.
get lumped up.
Yeah, at 45.
I-
Life
I-
start at 45.
I'm getting lumped up at 50 in a month.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an outrage.
It's an
Really
outrage.
look
It's
good.
an outrage.
Well, we
Yeah.
love you
Oh
all,
my God.
people.
So people, remember, follow us, like us on Instagram, like us on YouTube, Facebook,
YouTube.
and remember, fuck you, have a nice day, don't
Get
get
drunk,
drunk, get lumped
lumped
up,
up.
have a good day, people.
Oh my, you guys are too bad. Oh my God. They are so bad.
Ooh, that was
Yes.
almost an hour.